What if the reason they can't forget you has nothing to do with your looks, your words, or even the time you spent together? What if you awakened something so deep within them that loving you changed them forever? Stay with me, because what you're about to discover may completely transform the way you understand love. Have you ever wondered why someone can't let go of you, even after time, distance, or silence? The answer may lie far deeper than ordinary attraction. Sometimes, a single person awakens hidden parts of the soul, and that kind of connection can change someone forever. There are moments in life when meeting someone feels strangely familiar, almost as if you have known them long before the actual encounter. Logic cannot fully explain it. Nothing extraordinary may have happened during the first conversation, yet something deep inside begins to stir. The connection feels immediate, powerful, and difficult to ignore. This is often because human beings are unconsciously searching for lost, hidden, or undeveloped parts of themselves, and occasionally, another person unexpectedly reflects those qualities back to them. Many people move through life disconnected from certain aspects of their own nature. Some suppress their sensitivity because they were taught that vulnerability is weakness. Others hide their creativity, their passion, their tenderness, or even their inner strength, in order to fit into the expectations of family, society, or past relationships. Over time, these neglected qualities do not disappear. They simply retreat into the unconscious, waiting to be rediscovered. Then someone enters their life, and suddenly, these forgotten dimensions begin to awaken. Perhaps your authenticity inspired them because they had spent years wearing emotional masks. Around you, they witnessed someone who was genuine, someone unafraid to express thoughts and emotions honestly. Without realizing it, they began admiring in you what they secretly longed to express within themselves. Or maybe it was your calmness during difficult moments. In a world filled with chaos and uncertainty, your inner stability became deeply attractive. You represented a kind of emotional balance they had been seeking for years, but had never fully developed. Being near you made them feel closer to that missing part of themselves. This is why such connections often feel intense from the very beginning. The attraction goes beyond physical appearance or shared interests. At an unconscious level, they are not only seeing another person, they are encountering pieces of their own incomplete inner world. The experience can feel almost mystical because it touches layers of the psyche that are rarely accessed in ordinary relationships. As the connection deepens, they may begin idealizing you. They see extraordinary qualities in you, sometimes placing you on a pedestal. While this admiration can feel beautiful, it also reveals something important. Much of what they love in you already exists, in potential form, within themselves. You simply gave those qualities a face, a voice, and a living presence. This explains why separation from such a person can feel devastating. Losing you may feel as though they are losing a part of themselves. The emotional pain becomes so profound because the relationship was never only about companionship. It was also about self-discovery. Through you, they caught a glimpse of who they truly are and who they might become, and experiences like that are rarely forgotten. Once someone begins to recognize hidden parts of themselves through another person, a deeper process often begins. Recognition alone may spark attraction, but emotional safety is what transforms attraction into profound attachment. In a world where many people feel misunderstood, criticized, or forced to hide their true feelings, finding someone who creates a sense of emotional safety can feel life-changing. Most people carry invisible wounds. Some were raised in environments where expressing emotions led to rejection or ridicule. Others have experienced betrayal, abandonment, heartbreak, or disappointment in past relationships. As a result, they learn to protect themselves. They develop emotional walls, carefully controlling what they reveal to others. They may appear confident, independent, or even distant. Yet beneath the surface, there is often a deep longing to be accepted exactly as they are. Then they meet someone who does not immediately judge, pressure, or demand perfection. Perhaps you listened without trying to fix them. Perhaps you accepted their flaws without making them feel inadequate. Or perhaps your presence simply allowed them to relax and stop performing for the world. Whatever the reason, Being with you felt different. Around you, they no longer needed to wear masks. This experience is extraordinarily rare. Many relationships are built upon roles, expectations, and unspoken conditions. People often fear that if they reveal their true selves, they will lose love and acceptance. Yet when someone discovers that they can reveal their insecurities, fears, dreams, and imperfections without being rejected, something remarkable happens. Their defenses begin to soften. Gradually, they start sharing stories they rarely tell anyone else. They reveal childhood memories, secret fears, painful disappointments, and hidden hopes for the future. Each act of vulnerability strengthens the emotional bond. With every honest conversation, trust grows deeper. The relationship becomes more than companionship. It becomes a sanctuary. Human beings naturally seek places of refuge, not only physically, but psychologically. When someone becomes that refuge, their importance increases dramatically. Your presence may have become associated with peace after stress, comfort after pain, and understanding after loneliness. Simply hearing your voice or being near you could calm emotions they struggled to regulate on their own. This is why emotional safety can create such powerful feelings. The person is no longer attached only to who you are. They are attached to how they feel when they are with you. In your presence, they experience authenticity, acceptance, and emotional rest. These experiences touch some of the deepest human needs. Over time, they may begin depending on this connection more than they realize. They start seeking your reassurance, valuing your opinions, and turning to you during moments of uncertainty. Not because they are weak, but because genuine emotional safety is rare. Once someone discovers a person with whom they can fully be themselves, the thought of losing that connection can become deeply unsettling. When a person feels deeply understood and emotionally safe with someone, something powerful begins to unfold within the unconscious mind. The connection no longer remains limited to the present moment. Instead, it starts reaching toward the future, awakening desires, dreams, and longings that may have remained dormant for years. This is often the point at which love becomes truly profound, because the other person is no longer seen merely as a companion, but as a catalyst for transformation. Every human being carries hidden aspirations. Some dream of becoming more courageous, more authentic, more loving, or more fulfilled. Yet many abandon these dreams after years of disappointment, criticism, or failure. Life teaches them to lower their expectations, suppress their desires, and settle for what feels safe and familiar. Gradually, they stop believing that real change is possible. Then someone enters their life and unexpectedly reignites hope. Perhaps your presence reminded them that genuine intimacy still exists. Maybe they had spent years believing that deep emotional connection was impossible, only to discover that conversations with you felt effortless and meaningful. Suddenly, old beliefs began to crumble. Possibilities they had long dismissed started to seem attainable once again. Your influence may also have extended beyond the relationship itself. Maybe your independence inspired them to pursue neglected goals. Perhaps your resilience encouraged them to confront personal challenges they had been avoiding. Without consciously intending to, you became a symbol of growth, awakening parts of them that had remained asleep. Human beings are naturally drawn toward those who inspire expansion. We rarely fall deeply in love with people who leave us unchanged. Instead, we become captivated by those who awaken new dimensions within us. Around such individuals, we begin imagining different futures, different versions of ourselves, and different ways of living. As this process unfolds, imagination becomes increasingly important. They begin picturing shared experiences, future conversations, meaningful moments, and a life enriched by your presence. They imagine overcoming struggles together, celebrating victories together, and building something emotionally significant. These fantasies are not merely romantic daydreams. They reflect profound psychological needs for connection, meaning, and personal evolution. The danger lies in the fact that these inner images can become extraordinarily powerful. Over time, they may begin associating their hopes for transformation with you. In their mind, you come to represent not only love, but also possibility itself. You become linked to dreams they had almost abandoned. This explains why such feelings can grow with remarkable intensity. They are not simply falling in love with a person standing before them. They are falling in love with the future they envision, the hidden potential they rediscover, and the version of themselves that emerges in your presence. The relationship becomes deeply symbolic, touching desires that extend far beyond ordinary attraction. And once someone experiences that kind of awakening, it becomes almost impossible to return to the emotional world they inhabited before meeting you. As their feelings continue to deepen, an unexpected paradox often emerges. The very emotions they have long desired suddenly become the source of fear. What once felt exciting, comforting, and inspiring now begins to expose vulnerabilities they have spent years trying to protect. This is one of the great contradictions of human nature. The deeper the love, the greater the possibility of emotional pain. Many people believe that when someone truly falls in love, they will naturally move closer, express their feelings openly, and embrace the relationship without hesitation. Yet reality is often far more complex. Deep love does not only awaken joy, it also awakens fear. It forces a person to confront parts of themselves they would rather avoid. For years, they may have carefully constructed emotional defenses. These defenses were not created without reason. Perhaps they were betrayed by someone they trusted, abandoned when they needed support, or repeatedly disappointed by relationships that failed to provide the love they hoped for. Over time, they learned that emotional distance offered protection. By remaining guarded, they believed they could avoid future suffering. Then you entered their life and quietly dismantled those defenses. Without fully understanding why, they began caring more deeply than they intended. Your opinions mattered, your presence mattered, your absence mattered even more. Suddenly, they found themselves emotionally invested in ways that felt unfamiliar and even unsettling. The realization that they could lose you became increasingly frightening. This fear often manifests in confusing ways. Instead of moving closer, they may withdraw. Instead of expressing affection, they may become silent or inconsistent. They may appear distant one day and deeply connected the next. To the outside observer, such behavior seems contradictory. Yet internally, they are struggling with a profound emotional conflict. One part of them longs for intimacy, connection, and closeness. Another part fears dependency, rejection, and heartbreak. These opposing forces create tension within the psyche. The stronger their feelings become, the more intense this inner struggle can feel. In some cases, they may even begin questioning the relationship itself. They analyze every interaction, searching for signs of danger or reasons why the connection might fail. They may convince themselves that stepping back is the safest option, believing that creating distance now will hurt less than experiencing devastating loss later. Ironically, these reactions often reveal the depth of their feelings, rather than the absence of them. Indifference rarely creates fear. We do not fear losing what holds little emotional significance. We fear losing what has become precious. Love, at its deepest level, requires surrender. It asks a person to lower defenses, embrace uncertainty, and risk emotional pain in exchange for genuine connection. For individuals who have spent years protecting themselves, this surrender can feel terrifying. Yet it is precisely this fear that often reveals how profoundly they have been affected by the spear relationship, and how deeply they have come to love. No matter how a relationship unfolds, there are certain people who leave an imprint so profound that life can never return to what it was before. These are not merely individuals we loved. They are individuals who altered the landscape of our inner world. Their presence changes the way we think, feel, and understand ourselves. When someone falls deeply in love, this transformation often becomes the most lasting consequence of the connection. Before meeting you, they may have moved through life with fixed beliefs about love, relationships, and even their own identity. Perhaps they believed that true emotional intimacy was impossible. Perhaps they had accepted loneliness as inevitable, or convinced themselves that vulnerability was a weakness. Years of experience may have shaped these convictions, turning them into unquestioned truths. Then your presence challenged those assumptions. Through conversations, shared experiences, and emotional closeness, You may have shown them possibilities they had never seriously considered. You demonstrated that being understood was possible. You revealed that authenticity could exist within a relationship. You encouraged them, often without realizing it, to confront hidden fears, re-examine old beliefs, and explore neglected parts of themselves. Transformation rarely occurs in dramatic moments alone. More often, it unfolds quietly. A simple conversation may stay in their mind for years. A moment of compassion during a difficult time may permanently alter how they view trust. Your encouragement may inspire them to pursue dreams they once abandoned. Even your absence, if the relationship ended, may force them into profound self-reflection. Human beings are shaped not only by what they experience, but by whom they experience life with. Some people enter our lives briefly, yet leave lessons that continue unfolding long after they are gone. The emotional significance of such individuals extends beyond memories. They become part of the story we tell ourselves about who we are. This is why deeply transformative relationships are so difficult to forget. The mind may attempt to move on, but the psyche remembers change. Every new relationship, every future decision, and every understanding of love becomes influenced, in some way, by what was learned through that connection. In many cases, they begin noticing changes within themselves after meeting you. They become more self-aware. They start questioning old patterns, recognizing emotional wounds, and seeking personal growth. They may become more compassionate, more open, or more courageous than they were before. Even if circumstances separate you, the transformation continues. Perhaps this is the deepest reason someone falls dangerously in love. At the core of every profound connection lies the experience of becoming someone new. Love is not simply about possessing another person, or being possessed by them. It is about awakening. It is about encountering another human being, whose presence reveals hidden dimensions of the self, and initiates a journey that cannot easily be reversed. And once a person has truly awakened in this way, they rarely forget the one who opened that door. Sometimes people fall deeply in love not because someone is perfect, but because that person awakens hidden parts of their soul. And once that happens, they may never truly be the same again.